North Korean leader Kim Jong Un delivered his annual New Year's Day address, warning Washington to not test his patience with sanctions.
If the U.S. responds to our initiative and preemptive efforts by taking reliable and corresponding practical action, our relationship will continue to progress.
Kim says he would be ready for another summit with the American president, but threatened to take another path if the U.S. breaks its promises. The message comes as the denuclearization process seems to have stalled. Sung-Yoon Lee is a professor of Korean studies at Tufts University and joins us now to talk some more about this. Thanks for your time today.
Thank you.
What do you think the takeaway message was from that address?
Well, on style, you have a new optics of Kim Jong Un being seated, delivering in a sedentary manner his speech under a softer, warmish glow of evening lamplight, a handsome patrician even looking study, books behind him, a very elegant oxblood leather armchair. So on style points, the optics were good. He came across as more reasonable, more normal. Also, he toned down his rhetoric from last year's New Year's. I have a nuclear button on my desk. We will never give up nuclear weapons and so forth. So he hit the right notes on trying to manipulate the United States into further open-ended negotiations while making no real concessions on nuclear or ballistic missile issues, which are, of course, activities prohibited by many, over 10 UN Security Council resolutions. So for Kim to equate giving up nuclear weapons with sanctions enforcement, which are legitimate response to his decades-old nuclear weapons program, is a fallacy. But it resonates, it works. He is able to paint Trump, the U.S., as the aggressor.
Let's talk a little bit about the fact that North Korea under Kim Jong Un has decided that they need to look elsewhere, meaning outside of themselves, to help their economy. He does want to bring the people up a little bit, or at least we know that's one of his goals. How will he do that? Did he mention that in this speech about how he would push the country forward and maybe increase outside relations to help them raise their level?
Well, every year the North Korean leader delivers this New Year's address and addresses the economy. But there is no specific plan. It's an economic plan, really without a plan. It's more a moral exhortation to his people to put up with a life of privation, extreme repression, poverty. Blame the U.S. for it and work hard because I'm the great leader. In the past, how North Korea has operated in terms of generating revenue is primarily through exporting insecurity, being a threat to the region, and compelling the big powers to return to negotiations with bigger and bigger economic concessions in tow. Over the past 25 years, North Korea has reaped well over $20 billion worth of goods, a lot of that in cash, from the US, South Korea, China, and Japan. So it's good business for North Korea to dangle the possibility of denuclearization while racing ahead, forging ahead with its nuclear capabilities.
We do see an improvement from the outside, at least, between the relationships that Seoul has with North Korea or North Korea and South Korea. How do you see that moving forward if you do this year?
It's a very complicated matter. The current South Korean administration led by President Moon, Mr. Moon has long been a known entity. Why? Because he was the chief presidential aide to a former South Korean president between 2003 and 2008. And in those heady years, South Korea gave North Korea almost $1 billion, no questions asked, more than half of that in cash. Hey, here's a lump of money, do the right thing. That kind of unconditional aid affected North Korea's weapons of mass destruction program. So from North Korea's point of view, North Korea has South Korea basically on its side, obviously China and Russia on its side. And this year, 2019, marks the 100th anniversary of an important event in both China and Korea, anti-Japanese resistance movements. So there's a strong incentive for inter-Korean bonding, Sino-Korean bonding, standing up to Japan, imperialism of the past and the imagined present, the United States. And the environment favors Kim to try to compel the U.S. to loosen up on sanctions enforcement and give North Korea more rewards prematurely.
Sung-Yoon Lee, I've got to leave it there. Appreciate you joining us on the program today. Thanks for that.
Thank you.